Hey, Randy Joe here, and this is 1001 Reviews, where I plan on listening to every single album from the 1001 albums to listen to before you die book. And today we are looking at the Gotan Project's 2001 album, La Revancha del Tango. Gotan Project's La Revancha del Tango was released in 2001 under the Yabasta and XL Recordings label, produced by the Gotan Project themselves, with art direction uncredited, nationality Argentina and France, with a running time of 58 minutes and 42 seconds, just short of 1 hour. There's also a quote in this book that reads, "I think it was important just to say that tango is not dead," by Gotan Project's Felipe Cohen Salal, which I think is a very important statement to make because this album does prove that tango is not dead. La Revancha del Tango, this debut album from this very multicultural Paris-based band, is a reflection of just that. Cultures of many kinds coming together to create this unique, upbeat blend of dance music that is often as soft and gentle and relaxing in the background, as well as being very danceable and energetic. It is a tango/salsa album as much as it is a trip-hop album, as much as it is an electronic album, because it blends all three of these things very smoothly into one cohesive package and makes for a really enjoyable listen overall. But even still, it is mostly doused and dunked into tango roots. Now, tango is a genre that I myself am not super well versed in, but after hearing this album about 4 or 5 times over, found myself growing in terms of how much I enjoyed it. I just wanted to listen to it as soon as I possibly could because of its extremely enjoyable Latin stylings all over this thing. And maybe it's because this tango album does bring it to a much more surface level and accessible level for people like myself who aren't super well versed in it, while at the same time not straying too far from its roots by going the more electronic route that it does. It is very confident with its blend as well, which really pulls it off with grace. You've got songs like Triptico, which is a near 9-minute track that continues to build and layer on itself while also taking away what becomes stale over its 9 minutes and is always shifting up, so it always remains fresh and always remains danceable and upbeat. There's never really a moment of this 9-minute track where you're feeling like it's dragging on too much because it is consistently changing things for the better. Or Last Tango in Paris, which keeps this very groovy album grooving, but at the same time is one of the more relaxing listens of the track list as well. This album often balances the upbeat and the relaxing to great effect, and Last Tango in Paris is a good example of that. And the strings on this album, the strings on this album are very good just all over it, just dressed in every single song here. The strings just ooze into every track on here so fluidly while also mixing in with accordions and piano work, being complemented very, very nicely by the electronic, computerized-like music as well. And then the song Epoca or Epoca, not sure how to pronounce that, is a song that was extremely interesting to me because the string work on it is just so unique and original that for some reason it brought me back to a time when I've heard this song in the past. I know I've heard it in a commercial somewhere, and I'm not sure which commercial it was because this has been used in many commercials, but hearing it really brought me back to a time in my childhood where I heard this song before, and it was a great flashback to have. It might have been a jet dry commercial because it was used in one of those, but that commercial was released in Finland, and I myself am not from Finland, so I'm not sure exactly why I have heard the song or where it came from, but I'm glad I did because hearing this song again was a huge nostalgia trip for me. And it's also great that the song is just fantastic on its own. The strings on here are constantly just clashing every few seconds, giving a quick, brief, consistent strike every couple seconds or so. And the drum beat in this song, as well as the vocals, are really nicely placed. The vocals especially are quite sensual just all over this album. The female voice that is used in the song is just silky smooth and really nice to the ear. which is to say that most of the vocals on this album are silky smooth, sensual, and nice to the ear. Because all over this thing, you get different vocals from both males and female that sound very delicate and well produced and just very creamy overall. It's mostly Spanish as far as I can tell, but even it being in Spanish, I never really was bothered by the different language. The language barrier doesn't affect me at all because the way it is sung is just so beautiful and so nice. It's sung so smoothly that it's just like butter to the ears, and I'm the slice of bread. The songs Epoca and Una Musical Brutal are specifically where these vocals shine, and I highly recommend checking out those two songs specifically off this album. There is a male voice as well, as I mentioned, that is often more raspy in tone, but still just as sensual and seductive in a way. And paralleling with the female voice is a really nice contrast between the two. And honestly, this entire album is very clean and very slick, super well produced as well. It's super upbeat and super relaxing, and all of this together ends up making for a just super enjoyable listen. And as the more I listen to this album, the more it continually grows and the more I begin to like everything it brings to the table. The soft rating of this album came to a 7.2 out of 10, but I'm going to harden it ever so slightly up to a 7.5 out of 10. And I'm sure that one day that 7.5 will actually even go higher, but for now it remains at 7.5. And for its very unique blend of salsa, tango, and electronic dance music, it's definitely worth a listen as it blends these two things very fluidly together and makes for what I think is an essential listen for sure. So it gets a E for essential. Give it a listen. It is definitely necessary to be within the 1001 albums to listen to before you die book. If not only to bring many casual listeners into the tango genre like myself. That pretty much does it for this video. Let's go ahead and see what the next album you're going to listen to is. Okay, 1 to 1001. Generate. 387, album number 387 from the 1001 albums listed before you die. Let's see what it is. The Idiot by Iggy Pop, 1977. The Idiot by Iggy Pop. I'm excited for that one. Big fan of Iggy Pop and just the whole 77 output in general. Man, I'm super excited for that. And on Friday, I will also be releasing a video for the Pretenders album, which is also from this book, followed by the Tuesday album in exactly 1 week, which is The Idiot by Iggy Pop, once again, as I said. And if you would like to join me in my journey, listen to those albums, and we'll go along one by one, and together we can create a community of listening to every album of the 1001 albums to listen to before you die. This has been Randy Joe, signing off.